first time, I think we all said, we don't know what that neighborhood is. Let's investigate. And we found in the dispatch to start, starting in 1926, advertisements for the development of Wonderland. So right after the Gahanna grand opening, we had some customers from the Gahanna area who came just to kind of check out local history and genealogy, and they stumbled across this map, which is a 1957 map showing the planned routes for the outer belt. Some of the options, the preferred route, some alternates showing where things would go and what would be disrupted. And they saw this tiny little development called Wonderland. And they'd always seen signs for the Wonderland Community Church in their area. They didn't know what that meant because there's no town there, there's no development called Wonderland. So they asked, and for the first time, I think we all said, we don't know what that neighborhood is, let's investigate. And we found in the dispatch to start, starting in 1926, advertisements for the development of Wonderland. It was a resort town on the Big Walnut Creek. Folks would go stay during the summer months, sometimes during the winter, but it was a place to get out of town, little cottages, some canoes, nice summertime. Eventually they built a pavilion. There were musicians, dance halls, events almost every night. So it was somewhere to spend the summer and not be in town, while only having to go, as far as now, the outer belt. So we investigated further. Why isn't Wonderland there anymore? Well, very quickly, once folks started to stay there all year round, they learned why it was best for a summer resort. It floods every spring. The Big Walnut Creek rises. The houses are pretty much completely covered in water. The dispatch has some great but terrible images showing the houses with kind of just the roof peaks visible. But folks stuck it out. They loved it. It was their community, and they stayed in Wonderland for years that way. But then the airport was built. Starting in 1929, Port Columbus was a thing, and it was very, very close to where Wonderland is. You can actually see on the map the actual airport with a little airplane sign to indicate that that's what that was. So the residents were, again, perturbed. Not only were they flooded, but they were experiencing a terrible noise that was basically interfering with their ability to live there, they said. So they sued the city of Columbus for the air rights. They said, if you're gonna fly planes over our house, you have to pay us for that privilege. The city fought that. It eventually went up to the Ohio Supreme Court, who ruled in favor of the residents. The city did not want to pay those fees, and then the outer belt was proposed. This kind of seemed like it could resolve everybody's problems. What if the outer belt came through the area? They could pay the residents, have everybody move out. The residents didn't like that option either, but eventually, after about 20 years of litigation and kind of fighting among the city, the airport, and the residents, the final folks left in the late 80s, early 90s. The town was pretty much dismantled, more runways were put in, and now the airport and the city actually own the land. So you'll see the streets still there. It was platted. They're all there with different names than what they had originally, but it's sort of a ghost town that no longer exists. So yeah, when the customers asked about Wonderland, it was something that we had never noticed, despite having looked at this map many, many times. It's on my history, it's searchable. We had never stumbled across this name. So I think everybody kind of jumped in to try to figure out where we could find more information. We looked at some additional maps. Some of them featured the area, some of them didn't, but didn't give us more information. The dispatch is always kind of our next go-to. We have a database that's fully searchable, so we were able to just pop in that phrase, Wonderland, and see what came up. As you can guess, a lot of it was related to Alice, but that which wasn't was related to this resort area, and we found advertisements, we found mentions of the flood, we saw indications of the lawsuits with the city and the airport and all of that. So it was really, we were able to get a timeline of kind of how things progressed, what happened. And from there, we started to search our digital collection, and we found city bulletins describing the annexations, and we saw when money was approved to be given to the residents for their air rights, for their land. All of that has to go through the government, and we have those records. They're again digitized, so we could just search for them. And we got a pretty good picture of kind of what had happened and unfortunately where it went.